Right, just moved it out of the workshop, ready because the carbon monoxide meter was going berserk over there. Even though I had the exhaust out the door, there's a breeze that's blowing it back in. So, yeah, be careful when you're working in a workshop. I have got a carbon monoxide meter. I probably need to get another one on the other side of the workshop, but you don't know it's there until it's too late. Well, unless you've got a carbon monoxide meter. So just be careful. Right, now, first things first, I want to double check the dwell angle and the ignition timing. So I'm going to do the ignition timing. I can check the dwell on this as well, but I haven't figured that out yet. So if we start up, we are all clear. Give it a little rev. So the carbs are disconnected at the moment because I need to basically do the ignition timing. Now we can see here we're running around 900 RPM, which backs up what the other meter is saying. Belt and braces. Check ignition timing. We forgot to take off the vacuum advance, so always take off the vacuum advance before you check your ignition timing. Right, we're still out. So that looks like it's running at probably about 13 degrees before top dead centre. So I need to loosen the pinch bolt, which is down here. Dead easy doing these, it really is. And then you can stand here, I think. You can listen to the exhaust ratting from there. You can listen to the exhaust ratting. What we're going to do. Okay, right. So just be careful of the engine driven fan. And I really want this thing to be about, the manual says 0 to 5. I generally find with modern fuel systems, these things run quite happy around the 6 mark, but it's just a case of working out where that smooth spot is. So that's top dead centre. 3 degrees. 6 degrees. 9 degrees. 12 degrees, pretty much where it was when I started. So if I go back to 6, I can hear the engine running sweeter. Okay, next I'm going to check the dwell. So what I do here is I can probably do it using that, but I haven't worked out how to do it yet. Press the dwell button. And we can see here for 8 cylinders, we're currently running at 27 degrees, whatever it is, 27 degrees I think it is. You adjust the dwell on these by turning that knurled nut there. In fact, let's do that. I can show you how flipping easy it is on these cars. 1/4 inch socket, I think. 1/4 inch socket. If I keep my hand clear of the fan, and wind the nut, grab 26, 24, do it the other way, we're just moving a little bit at a time, 30, back to 27. So all we're really doing there is we're adjusting the points gap by turning that nut. It's a beautiful system. I don't know why more distributors don't do it. Quite a few do. A lot of the Lucas distributors do. But that really now, and then I can double check, having done that, just double check the ignition timing again. Oh, it's moved a little bit. It's now running at about 7. So let's position you back over here again, because I need 2 hands for this. Okay, have a look. Thank you, fucking crank. Are you looking? I don't know if you're looking, you are looking. Right, okay. I rotate to about 6. You know the dwell angles are good. tighten the pinch bolt up. Pinch bolt is tight. And again, it's moved to 9. Must be as a result of tightening the pinch bolt. But it's why it's always worth checking these things. Check, double check, check again. I suspect what's happening is the clamp is moving the distributor very slightly. We're back to 6, holding that where it is. Still 6. So I'm just holding the distributor in place while I'm tightening the pinch bolt. Yeah, that's 6. So that's 6. Happy enough with that. That's in good order. Now the other thing I can do while I'm here is I can reconnect the vacuum advance, and I should see I can see the ignition advance, so I know the vacuum advance is working. What I need to do is just count, of course, that the mechanical advance is working as well. All looks good. All appears to be okay. Happy enough of that. Right, let's pop this out of the way before I pop it. I think this little bad boy off of eBay sniped it. It does bloody everything, but I've yet to work out what all of the functions do. When you snipe these things, I think I paid about 45 quid for it. That is a beauty. Love it. Now, so we're still running, the dwell angle's changed, we've gone down below 26. I just found out what the problem is with the fuel filter. We've got a pinhole in it. Look at that. That's not going to help your economy, is it? Better turn that off. Aborted. There's a pinhole in the filter. You can see the fuel squirting out. Fucking thing. It's one thing after another with this car, I tell you. So, yeah, I'm going to take the fuel filter apart now. Oh, you Knut. Oh, joy. Joy of 1,000 joys. You're going to stop fighting me at some point, aren't you? You really are. You're going to stop fighting. You know I've only got your best interests at heart. You know that, don't you? Stop fighting. Right. Fuel filter. Bastard thing. I'm probably going to end up taking the whole thing off actually and work on it on the bench. So on the side here we've got the 2 feeds and then I've got 2 nuts holding it in place. I'm just going to take the whole thing off. Before I do any work on the fuel system, I'm going to disconnect the battery. Just because. Fucking thing. It's always the case. Just when you think you're winning, just every time you just think, oh, do you know what? I might be winning. Car says nope. Shan't let you. Not allowing it. Will not allow you to win. The other thing I noticed just before I noticed that was doing. Now I've adjusted the timing. I did notice that the dwell angle had adjusted. Now it could be because I put the vacuum advance back on again, but I think you check the 12 without the vacuum advance. I'll double check that. Yes, it's definitely working. Right, let's get this fucker off. Bastard. Good thing is it's taking all this horrible paint off. I'm not sure that is a good thing actually. Right, let's get the 7/16. Right. Insert expletive here. Especially irritating when you have to do things again and again. But in this particular case, it's not ideal, is it? We just take the HT lead out of the way. King lead. There is no ignition at the moment. There's no ignition, there's no power. Just gives me a bit more access, that's all. These are, I think they are 8mm conifer pipes, which is what, 5/16, and the nuts are UNF, so the 5/16 UNF, and I think it's a 7/16 thread size, probably a little bit long for the application. Then you've got olives on the end there which hold everything in place. Right, so let's wedge that up there, just so it's not going to go anywhere. And then we need to get these nuts off. We will retire to the bench with the whole fucking thing. Right, and we're leaking fuel everywhere. Oh yes. Let's put you in a tray. Ah, there we go. I'm going to soak fuel into my bench then, is it? I don't need fuel soaking into my bench, I'll be honest. Fuel soaking into my glove as well. Let's get rid of that glove because it's petrol soaked now. We don't want any accidents. Had an accident a couple of days ago. Managed to try and cut the end of my finger off with a reciprocating saw. Did I swear? Oh yes. Okay, this filter is held in place here with one big nut on the bottom. We'll take it out. And then the filter, we've got a spring and so forth in there. Can you see it? The pinhole. Right there. You bastard. Really not very fucking helpful, is it? Really not very helpful. I think I've got another one of these. The customer might have given me another bowl. Probably could put some Araldite or something in there, but realistically that needs a blob of weld in there. And the problem is that this is one area where kind of they just go unmetered, unwashed. Right, let me just mark where the hole is, just so. Fucking pen's run out as well. Has run out. Right, to the recycle. Arrgh. There we are, that's where the hole is. Right, Dave did indeed have another filter bowl in his box of parts. I've given it a damn good clean out on the inside using a wire cut brush on a drill. It's not ideal. It really isn't, but it hasn't got a hole in it, and that one has. And you see that one looks to be in better shape, but actually isn't. That I can recover that with a blob of weld. I'll do that later on. You can actually see where the paint has come through on the inside of that hole. So the steel is very thin, and I'm worried that this one is going to go in much the same way. If I were to, I'm not going to get violent, folks, don't worry. If I were to get a seeing if any of this steel can be dented, if it can, then it's too thin. This actually seems to be quite a bit thicker than that one. What I'll do is I'll just treat the rust on the inside of this thing with a rust converter and fit it, because I really want to get these carbs tuned up. I'm fed up with it not behaving. Get some of that. Get me brush. I'm gonna do it the arse about face way, about face, about arse. Because I can't be bothered to go and get a container. I'll just put a little bit in there. Brush it around. We'll wait for this to go off properly. I might have a cup of tea, and we'll see how the rust conversion works. And on the outside as well, I think. Need to get another bottle of this. It's nice stuff. This is FE123. I like it. Boom, 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 boom. Outside of this thing, it just looks like it's been cleaned back off its paint, because these things were originally, whatever colour it was, the nearest I could find was like a Ford engine blue. When I put this stuff on, it should be serviceable. We'll see. Right, let's let that dry off. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Okay, filter's back in place again, dry, and I have been over and basically got these things just finished off setting them up. Got a very, very, very slight misfire on them. I think it's down to these leads. I can't seem to eradicate it or identify it. We've got idle speed just below 800 RPM. The draw on both carburetors is exactly the same. They're both working beautifully. And I'm still running the Bosch coil from the ballast feed, from the Eureka wire, and it seems to be okay at the moment. So I'm going to look into that. I shall report back. Right, the only other thing I need to do on here is the cold start mechanism needs setting up, because it doesn't do anything at the moment. It doesn't increase the idle speed, which is what it needs to do. Yes. That's the drive, I think. Right, let's see if I can't get this thing. It's going to struggle, I think, because of the amount of drive. Well, the car has not been driven 20 years. Trying not to knock my camera over. Now we're in high at the moment, so No. On the overdrive. Not in overdrive just now, so you don't know the overdrive's working as well. We know the high and low ratio is working. Just did that. So go to low ratio and first. Back into high first. High first, brake buttons, says Richard. Brief has been achieved. Fucking phone trick. Fucking phone goes all day long. Do I want to go forwards or backwards? I probably want to go forwards, I think. It can be driven without the power steering, so. And back in. Right, there we go. We're in. A roaring success. I think. The brief was to get it so it drives and stops. The original brief was a lot bigger, but honestly it's just a case of knowing the bits that I need to do and the bits that the customer can do. So you can stand there for a second while I lift this bonnet up. In here. Yes. Right. Excellent. Thermostat's open. Very good. Very good indeed. Yeah, I was happy with that. I am happy.